Okay, we're live. Sorry for the delay. Hello, welcome. Happy Monday? Yes, happy Monday. I still haven't changed my dry erase board, in case you're wondering. So whenever I look up there, I'm like, oh, it's still on November. Oops. At some point, I'll just change it to January and like just skip all of December. Um, anyway, hello. How are we? Hopefully, we have had a good weekend. Um, Friday, when I saw you last, the concrete guys were here and pouring and fixing and stuff. Um, and so we have had the weekend to dry. We had a little bit of rain Sunday, like Saturday night into Sunday, just a tiny little bit. But by then it had already had like 48 hours to dry, so that was good. Um, so we still can't drive on the driveway, that portion of the driveway, but he said to wait a full week for that. But everything else, we've tested the stairs and they look good. We don't leave any footprints. So that's awesome. Um, but yeah, and I spent the weekend doing some crochet. I say the weekend. Yeah, I guess it was most of the weekend. Friday I got a portion of a critter done, like the majority. Saturday I finished that critter and started another, but only got like 3 parts done. So Sunday I did a couple more pieces, and then this morning I finished the last pieces. I still have to sew them together. So that's what I'll be doing, I think, first sprint, just so I can get it out of the way. But then I will have 2 critters for Christmas presents. I still have a lot more to make, but I will have 2 done. So, yeah. I also still have to embroider their like eyelashes and mouth and stuff if I decide to do a mouth. But anyway, so hello. Monique is here and says, hey, y'all. Hello. Welcome. Hopefully, I will only spend 1 sprint doing that. I've already done like my bullet journal and stuff this morning. So I don't need to do that. I just need to sew the critter that's left and then write. So, and I don't know if you can tell, but I have only 2 of these blue stickies left. I think that's going to be my my goal is to get 1 of those done today. So that this week, hopefully, I can get the blue stickies done, and then just sort of reprioritize what, if any, of the rest of this is going to get done this month. Because I may just reset the board for January. I don't know. We'll have to see. Because I have a lot of crafting that I need to do for Christmas presents before Christmas gets here. So yeah. Anybody else have like crafty stuff they have to do? Or are you pretty much all set for Christmas? Were you prepared and purchased things and or made things all year long instead of last minute in the month of? Okay. Yeah, that's sort of where we are. I still have, oh, I need to put that up. Oopsies. I still have my big noses. But yeah. So Monique says, I just need to send a present and a card to my cousin and godson. Wow. You've got everything else lined up. That's nice. I've always been sort of like a last minute shopper. Like occasionally I'll see something like months ahead. But then I'll just be like, well, I found this really cool thing that made me think of you. So here. I have no patience. So yeah. So that's sort of where we are for that. But we always try to do something craft wise for Christmas. We always try to, generally there's some purchased gifts, but there's always something that's usually crafted. That's just sort of how our family has always done. Something baked, something crafted, something, put together. with time and energy. So Monique says, I have my gold bujo set up mostly. Nice. And you read Writer Carol's bullet journal method. Yes, it is nice to go back to basics. Yeah. But I also like stickers. So stickers and pretty washi tape and all that. So and colors. So I don't think I'll ever completely go back to just to Writer Carol's method, but I do like his stuff. His ideas. Okay. We need cards and dogs today. Which we're getting so thin on the dogs. Like it's just like so and most of that is just the cardboard back. So we're almost to the end of the doggos, which is kind of sad. Tuesdays is going to be hilarious. Okay. The weekend doggo was named Calvin. He's very anxious to hear what you have to say about his fox. He's hoping to be the perfect mix of cozy and stylish. 12 out of 10. Mission definitely accomplished for Calvin and his little scarf. He's so cute. He looks very warm and well groomed. Monique is wondering if it's just you in the chat today. I can see there are additional people watching, but maybe not everybody's in a chatty mood. So, and that's okay. Mondays, doggo is Bloman, B-L-O-M-M-A-N, Bloman maybe? Bloman. He's very skeptical about the temperature, can understand it being cold outside, that occasionally happens, but it being cold inside, that's an outright conspiracy. But still, Bloman looks very cozy in his probably assisted by humans wrapped blanket. So, very cute. Kara is here and says, you've never done a bullet journal. On one hand, you feel like you're missing out. On the other hand, another thing, which I totally get that. Yeah. But essentially, for me, the bullet journal is just when the like pre-prepared journals that you can find at the store aren't what you want, and you wind up having to like modify those a whole bunch for whatever you need, then maybe it's time for a bullet journal with some sort of a custom journal of something. Doesn't necessarily have to be the full-on Writer Carol method, but just some customized journal. The one thing I didn't love necessarily about Writer Carol's method was he didn't have the like overviews as much. I love to have my full week at a glance, and I love to have my like month at a glance and a year at a glance. Like the year at a glance, generally I just use for like birthdays and like way far out appointments. But for the most part, it's birthdays and the holidays, birthdays and holidays. But I love having my week at a glance. And the one thing that he never really did in his method, like I highly recommend you read the book at least once if you're interested in bullet journaling, because he does have some, or custom journaling, if you will. Even just if you're wanting to get more out of your planner, I guess, if you are wanting to look for some sort of organizational planning method, he's got some kernels that are really good and can be adapted to just about anybody's pace. But he and several others of the bullet journal community are very much day-to-day planners. And so like they don't necessarily start, like say we're on Monday and you don't start Tuesdays. You don't give Tuesday its own space until you're done with Monday, because you're essentially just building out whatever space Monday needs and giving it all the space it needs, which is great. But I need something that lets me know that on Thursday I have to go to the doctor's appointment, like to make sure, you know, I set my alarm on Thursday morning to be extra early or whatever, you know, or if I need to pay a certain bill by a certain date, you know, things like that. I have those reminders, and I like having them where I can see the whole week at a glance. You can absolutely do that by putting like a little small section up at the top that's like this week at a glance, and then like giving each day their own space, which is perfectly fine. But he never really like did that much. He would be like, okay, here's like, I'll note appointments and stuff or events like in this small quadrant of the page, or have the other half of the page. So there are things that he does that is not necessarily my style. And that's perfectly fine because he created this thing by himself and he has disseminated this information to the public. And it's great because then you can take his idea and you can go, ooh, I like this. I don't like this. I can change this symbol thing that he uses for the key and use it for my style. Because it took me a really long time to get used to his like dot, cross, hatch, note, different things. So, meh. But again, I think his stuff is really for people who have tried planners, pre-made planners, and have either had to modify them heavily or who cannot find the type of planner that they really like. And so you make it yourself. That's essentially what it is. So yeah, but I like it. I have fun with it. And it gives me an excuse to like use all my stickers and washi tape and pretty paper and all that kind of stuff. Again, that was not his intention. He's very clearly said that this year. Like, no, like the intention of a bullet journal is to be very minimalist. So he's trying to take back the narrative of bullet journals, but I think he let the worm out of the can, and it's not going back into the can. So anyway, you're just kind of in this place where you want to figure out how you can change how you do it. Yeah, exactly. Like you do like having the months and weeks at a glance as well. Yeah. And that's the thing. You have to sort of hunt around and find what works. And then sometimes it only works for a period of time. And then you change seasons and you need to change your planning method. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. It's all good. Andy is here. Hello. Welcome. Charlie is writing. Hello. Welcome. And Kara says, it's pedestrian and not pretty, but the calendar on my phone does what I need it for. Need that for that. And you always have it on hand, which is very good. Yes. And there are a lot of people who prefer planning digitally as well. And I get that because then you, again, always have access to it as long as the internet is there. And it can also send you reminders and things, which is nice. But yeah, so I've not delved too much into the digital planning, I'm going to be honest, because sometimes my internet goes out and then I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing today. Or I just don't want to be attached to my computer, my phone, my whatever. So I like having paper backup. Does it always work? No, not always, but it's a good start. So maybe I should be doing both at the same time, but then it feels like it's redundant and I'm just spending time replicating things. So that's one of the things I don't love about having two systems. And so I'd either have to separate out what's where, but yeah. Okay, yeah, so your new Hobonichi Weeks starts in December. So you get to play with it for a month before you put it into real work next year. Yeah. So it's pulling double duty as your planner and reading tracker at the moment. Nice. Good. Okay, we did the doggos. We need to do the, y'all, it's so messy. I've got all my critter parts right there that I need to sew on. Okay, we have the pig today. Use your mind wisely. Okay. Again, sort of rearranging all the critter parts. 47. Okay, so here is our lovely pig with wings. Use your mind wisely. The pig appears to remind you of the right use of intelligence, a gift we all have that is meant to be used with love, compassion, and discernment. Intelligence means recognizing the value of intuition partnered with smarts and common sense, which leads to intelligent solutions. When the pig appears, you are called to respect your analytical mind and use it for the highest good. Recognizing all the facts must be considered even when they do not fit with what you already know. Spirit blesses us with wisdom when we allow the pig spirit to nudge us into open-minded, thoughtful dialogues, whether with others or internally, as we mull over our ideas and what we have come to understand. You are intelligent and capable of clear-minded thinking, shaped by the wisdom you have accumulated and the intuition that will tell you when you have more learning to do, because not all the facts are in. Now is a time that your decision-making powers are reliable, for you are in alignment with the pig's keen intelligence. There we go. There's our pig friend for the day. Very nice. But I like that the pig nudges us into open-minded, thoughtful dialogues, even internally as we mull over our ideas. So I like that, because a lot of times when brainstorming, sometimes we think, oh, that'll never work. I can never, fit that twist in there. Well, maybe you can. Or, if you have that, oh, well, that's a stupid idea, sort of like internal criticism, you can sort of pause that and go, well, maybe it's not so bad of an idea. Maybe we can fix this. Maybe we can make it cool. I don't know. I don't know what your internal dialogue sounds like, but yeah. Ooh, pulled the Wheel of Fortune. Nice. Change. Constant change. Kara says, enchanted map number 42, wide open. Ooh, okay, so again, open-minded. You are free to express your uniqueness to the world and share all the beauty of life's endless possibilities. Nice. So, change. Things are changing. Being open-minded about the change. Being wide open emotionally and mentally. You pulled the 8 of Wands. I'm trying to think. Let me pull it up. Let's see. 8 of Wands. Okay. Long distance communication, instant messages, speed, something to do possibly with electronics, action. It's a card of speed and communication. It's associated with long distance travel or messages from afar. Interesting. Do you have an email you need to send? Does your character have an email they need to send? Or will they get a phone call from long distance phone call? Okay. Let's go ahead and do our first sprint. Again, I'm going to be sewing the critter together, and hopefully it will only take one sprint. Hopefully. Let's do the snowy bird timer to start with. Share the screen. Oh, also the poll is about your main character's wrapping style for Christmas presents or presents in general. Is everything neatly wrapped? Is your main character, mayor of Tape City? Do they start out neat and then slowly devolve as the wrapping process goes on? Or is it wrapping? What wrapping? Naked gifts. All right, let's do this. 30 minutes in 5, 4. Well, no, we need our reminders. Hello. What am I doing? 1, save your document. 2, make sure you have something to hydrate with and take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I got 6 out of 7 parts sewed on. So I have one ear left. So apparently takes me a long time to sew things. Let's see. So Stacy is here with a little bit of sad news. Stacy's grandfather passed away Thursday. So they're picking up the kids, getting ready for the service, all that kind of stuff. So thanks for stopping by and letting us know. Sorry for your loss, and take whatever time you need. We will keep you in our thoughts, and but do take the time you need to deal with not only the physical things that have to happen when somebody dies, but also the emotional. So Monique also says, sorry for your loss, Stacy. Your grandfather made it to 95 and 1 month. That's a long life. Good for him. He first wanted to outlive his grandfather, 90, and then his father, 94. So he accomplished that because his sister had been 95 and like 4 months. Gotcha. So his sister outlived him. Now all that's left are the two sister-in-laws. Gotcha. The last year or so, really when his sister passed, he started going downhill. Yeah. Physically, he had been pretty good up till the end. Yeah. Sometimes it's just sort of like one right after another. And that's hard because a lot of times you don't have, like, you're not finished grieving and wrapping up your own, wrapping up whatever matters are at hand before the next one sometimes when you have like a group of elders. So I get it. His dog, Love, a toy poodle, had been put down on Tuesday. She was 14 and had gotten sick, so they thought it was the humane decision. You don't know if anyone told him, but he passed 36 hours later. Oh, goodness. But he's going to be buried with both of his dogs. Love's ashes came back in time. Oh, that would be very nice. Yeah. So he'd be happy about that. Good. Good. Excellent. Monique also got 213 words. Yay. Yay. Charlie got 822. Nice. Excellent. Kara says, my condolences to Stacy. Yep. Funky is here as well. Hello, Funky. Do you have coffee? That is the always question for you. Kara says, I've written 600 words in my microdose and meditation journal / memoir / workbook. Very nice. Funky also says, sorry to hear that, Stacy. Yeah, it's, we had a group of elders that just sort of, it wasn't super immediate, but we didn't have time to finish everybody's affairs before the next one went. So it was kind of that just sort of drags on, and then you're left with other problems because you go from my mom went from power of attorney to executor, and then having to have copies of both of those paperworks, and then dealing with people who dealing with institutions, I should say, whose job it is to keep whatever account the original person had open as long as possible, because yeah, and then them not being able to, or not willing to properly allow you to, like, my mom inherited a small IRA from my great aunt Norma, and the bank that it was with is a pain, such a pain. And so they wouldn't let mom just take it out and like put it in her own institution. They're like, no, this has to stay with us. Because of the IRA type, whatever. And so then mom is having to do the minimum required distribution every year for it, and is trying to get them to do that every year. And it's just a pain. And then we had my grandmother's stuff, and then we had my grandfather's stuff. and properties and accounts and all of that. Like all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Um, yeah. Coffee shall be brewing in about 15 minutes. Good. Your son ordered boxes so we can start packing up my father's books. He had a small library's worth. Yeah. He passed 15 years ago, but it wasn't a pressing matter till your mom passed. Yeah. Yeah. He prepaid for services when his wife got sick, so it was 25 years ago, so affairs are not an issue. Good. Good. Yeah. That was, I think all of the elders had prepaid for plots at the particular Catholic cemetery, so they could all be next to each other. Um, so even like my great aunt Norma's husband was not a practicing Catholic, but she wanted him buried there, so she paid for a plot. um, you know, it just is what it is. So, but it took a while for the company to go and like carve the end date, because they had the beginning date already on there, and then put the headstone up, whatever. But it took them a while to get the end date for my grandparents. So that was fun, trying to chase them down. Stace says, thank you, everyone. Our private viewing will start about the time the stream ends. Gotcha. Gotcha. All righty. I guess I should probably show you what I'm working on. It's almost done. So I have been making foxes, 2 foxes. Here's the first one. I think I got the nose a little too down, but what can you do? It's on there. And then here's the second one that is still missing an ear and has the tail from this ear. So its nose is a little bit pointier, but still pointed down. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But yeah. So I have one and some. So, and 1 skein of yarn did both of these. And I have like a tiny bit of the orange color left over. One has orange sparkle around the eye, and the other one has green. I didn't realize how much the orange was going to disappear, so at least on this one I definitely have to do eyelashes. Yeah. So Kara says they're adorable. So this one, let's see, who did I follow the tutorial from? Okay, well, I at least copied over the tutorial link. So here's the tutorial for the foxes, in case you're wondering. These are slightly bigger because the tutorial has you start basically with 6 chains or 6 stitches in a magic circle, and for me that's just too tight for most things. It makes it more pointy. So I started with 8 and then had to modify everything slightly bigger. So me. Do I sell them locally or anything? These are going to be Christmas presents. I do not sell them. I have enough yarn that I could probably start a crochet business at this point. But I have not figured that out. I think I would at least like to one time sell something at like a market and just kind of see how it would go. I think that would be kind of a fun experience, but I'm not entirely sure what craft it would be with, because these take a really long time to make because I'm very slow at crocheting. So if I am counting time as part of the how much does it cost, it would take a lot. So yeah. But maybe I might at some point. I don't know. I'm not taking commissions at the moment because I have so many that I need to make for family members, because I left it to last minute like I always do. So yeah. But the other thing is that anything with like eyeballs and noses, it has to be for 3 and up, because like even though they're safety eyes and they have like a little washer on the back, it's still too much of a risky thing to give to babies. So just FYI, in case you didn't know. So if I'm making anything for the baby-sized people, I have to embroider the eyeballs, which is what I did with the little lion. So these are embroidered rather than doing the safety eyes, because this one is for a going to be 2-year-old in March. So that's the difference. It fell. I'll have to pick it up. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the second sprint. I'm going to finish the fox's ear so that I can like call them done. Oh, I do have to embroider their eyes too. So I may do that later rather than right now. But anyway, so I need to finish the fox and then I can write. So, all right, let's do this. I'm just going to rewind the Snowy Birds timer because, yes, because I can. Okay. 1, save your document, even if you haven't added anything to it. 2 is make sure you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I did finish sewing on the ear, and then I went back and tried to do some eye embroidery. I decided not to do the mouth. I did the first one pretty heavy-handed, but it does make the eyes, I think, a little bit better. They kind of look like eyebrows, though, from far away when you can't see that the eyes are bigger. I kind of wish I hadn't chosen the one with the orangey, but oh well, it's okay. And then we have the other one, which I did a little bit more delicately. That I think looks fine. That one, oh well, it's there. It's there, and they look cute, and they're done. So now I have 2 foxes to gift this holiday season. So yay. You can tell they're very much different sizes still because I was still modifying everything, but that's okay. That's how things go. But the foxes are done. Yay. And I did get to write 304 words. So, progress. Good progress. How about you? How did you do? Also, I have like little fuzzies of orange everywhere, and I need to wipe off underneath my mouse because the little fuzzies will interact with the mouse's sensor. So, yeah. How'd you do? Also, don't forget that was the self-promo sprint. So if you have a chance to do self-promo, now's the chance to do it. The little things on the mouse are coming out. So I'm just going to peel those because they're not going to stay there once they start coming off. So yeah, so I will have a slightly off center because only one of them is now staying on. It's okay. Whatever, it's fine. Okay. Let's see. Kara says, I have new book promos up at Reader's Roost. Nice. Kara says, I have new post up on my Substack as well. So Naughty Netherworldpress.substack.com. Ooh, Monique cooked fried rice for lunch. Yum. And here's the link for the book. My Ex is a Vampire. You also posted your holiday fic. Nice. Or at least the first chapter of it. Great. Funky is concocting coffee, and Monique is going to have lunch. Ooh, Charlie got 906. Excellent. Good job. It's a lot of words, which is fantastic. Okay. We need another sprint. That's one thing. Funky's coffee has been procured. Things are much better now. Yes. Also, are we out of focus? I think we are. I feel like we are. Cheese. There we go. There we go. Charlie says, as I've gotten deeper into this draft, the words have been coming a lot faster than usual. Nice. Love it when that happens. It's fantastic. Okay. Let's do a third sprint. I'm just going to rewind the bird feeder timer. I hope we get some snow at some point this winter. That way I can do another bird feeder timer. I mean, I really should be doing them multiple times a year, not just when it snows, but you know. Okay. Third sprint. 1, save your document. 2, make sure that you have something to hydrate with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching. Funky says, snow at Christmas or get the fuck out. We usually don't get our snow until like January or February. And usually about February 10th to 12th is like the last winter hurrah, and we get an ice storm or something like that. So I can usually count on it more towards the end of January / beginning of February. So, and we get it for you. True, you are kind of in the afterpath of where I am. Yeah. Okay, so 2 was sip, 3 is straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I managed to get 705 that sprint, so I have a total of 1,009 words for the stream and 2 foxes that are complete. So not bad. I'm going to save all of this as I close. But yeah, Diane is here. Hello, welcome. Mom Maggie stopped by, said brain is not tolerating screen time today though. Gotcha. So hopefully you have a good rest of your off-screen Monday. Diane wanted to know if anybody else was fighting with YouTube today, and sends some digital hugs to Stacy. Took you 3 times to actually go live, and only knew you that viewers could see you because if you were in the chat, let you know. Nothing showed up on your account. Interesting. Scheduled video also was showing the wrong thumbnail. I asked if you were streaming through YouTube or through third party. You're streaming through third party Streamlabs. I haven't tried Streamlabs, so I don't know what they normally would show you. So, but who knows? You took a couple weeks off, so it could be that you were just rusty. Ooh, 828 that round. Nice, Charlie. Good job. Diane smiles and waves. Funky got some work writing done. Excellent. Good job. Funky and Diane are excited to see each other. You re-downloaded Streamlabs just in case it was like an update or like operating system issue. Yeah. I don't, some days my internet is just funky. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Rebranding, changed birth name. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes my internet is funky. Sometimes it's StreamYard. Sometimes it's YouTube. Sometimes it's just, I don't know, the way I'm holding my head feels like. So yeah, technology can be both the greatest, it could be just the greatest assistant ever, and then sometimes it can be the bane of our existence. So yeah, it can be just one of those. All right. Tech issues, just another day. Yeah, pretty much. Hi, Jules in chat, just popping in for a boop to boop the like button. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. The internet is definitely funky. Yes. Which means you are now responsible for it. Okay. I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and end the poll. So our main character's present rapping skill level. 40% of our main characters start out rapping neatly, and then slowly the rapping devolves. 30% are like, rapping? What rapping? And just give naked gifts. 20% say everything is neatly wrapped, and 10% are in Tape City. So Funky's like, now wait a minute, I don't want to be responsible for the whole internet. Exactly. All right. Thank you very much for today. I feel better that I have at least finished the 2 foxes, and you know, closer to having stuff done for family members at Christmas time. So, and also I got 1,000 words, which is nothing to sneeze at. So, thank you. I will hopefully see y'all on Wednesday. Again, like my dry erase calendar is not up to date, but I keep looking at it as if it was. So, I have Christmas presents that are not wrapped, piled in the corner on the floor, and I don't really want to walk up. Anyway, thank you very much. I will see y'all soon, hopefully on Wednesday or in the chats. All right. Bye. Don't forget to save.